Hi guys, this is Sadiq from Driving.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to fix the Qualcomm crash dump mode on your OnePlus phone. So currently, as you could see, my phone is in this mode, and I was trying to flash a few files in the fastboot D mode, but my phone was not able to boot into fastboot D mode. Instead, I was booted into the Qualcomm crash dump mode, and now I cannot access the OS while the bootloader is currently unlocked in my case, but that is of no use because I cannot access the fastboot mode as well. So in this video, I'll show you how to fix this issue. There are just two methods. Either you will have to use the hardware key combination, and if the issue is not deep rooted, meaning that the system partition is working well and good, then simply by using the hardware key combination, your phone might boot to the OS. But if something is wrong with any of the partition, for example, in my case, as you could see, half the files have been flashed in the fastboot mode, but the rest of the file was about to be flashed in the fastboot D mode, but they are not flashed. So I was on Android 11 and then I flashed these Android 13 files. So half of the file are on Android 13, but the rest of the file are still on Android 11. So in my case, most of the partition have got corrupted. So I have no way out but to use the MSM tool. But still, let's first try out the hardware key combination. In that case, all you have to do is first and foremost make sure to unplug your phone from the PC. Once that is done, your first course of action is to long press the power and volume up keys. So hold them for around 10 to 15 seconds and see if something happens or not. So the time frame is important, at least 15 to 20 seconds. Once your phone undergoes or power off, leave the keys, and as of now, let's check out the result. If it boots to the fastboot mode or the recovery mode or the OS, any of the three mode will do. So let's see what happens in our case. So in my case, the phone again does not boot to any mode, rather it powered off this time around. So if in your case also, if your phone should now boot to the OS, if it is not booting to the OS, then the hardware key combination will not work. If it should work, then it would have worked right now itself. But now that it's not working, then you are out of luck, and your only course of action is to use the hardware key to use the MSM tool to get this job done. And as you could see, our phone has automatic booted to the Qualcomm crash dump mode in a matter of a few seconds. However, if in your case your phone is simply powered off and even not booting to the crash dump mode, then simply long press the power key for around 10 seconds and your phone will then boot to the Qualcomm crash dump mode. Unfortunately, this will also not help us, because if I now connect my phone to the PC via USB cable, let me show you. So, and if I now launch the device manager, my phone is being recognized as Qualcomm HS USB Diagnostic 900E, which I don't want. I rather require the 9008, which is the EDL mode. So currently my phone is not in the EDL mode. So let me show you the screenshot what I am talking about. If your phone is in the EDL mode, then under device manager it should be shown as QD Loader 9008. But as you could see in my case, it's showing as Diagnostic 900E. So this signifies it's in the Qualcomm crash dump mode and it's not in the EDL mode. So our first and main course of action is to boot our phone to the EDL mode, and once that happens, we could then get the job done quite easily. So for booting to EDL mode, there are quite a few requirements that you have to check mark beforehand. So first and foremost, you will have to disable the driver signature enforcement. This is required so that we could easily install the EDL drivers on our PC. So please, you could refer to my guide and get this job done. Anyways, let me show you that as well. So what you have to do is bring up the start menu, then long press the shift key and click on restart. Your PC will then reboot to the Windows recovery environment. From there, select troubleshoot advanced option, startup settings, and then press the 7 or F7 key to disable the driver signature enforcement. Once that happens, you could then easily install the EDL drivers on your PC. So let me show you that as well. So let's now move ahead with the next step. Now we will have to install the EDL drivers. For that, there are two ways out, either the automatic approach or the manual approach. First off, I'll recommend you to go for the automatic installation. For that, simply download the driver file from exe file from here, then launch it as a setup, and you will just have to select WWAN DHCP in the first screen, then click on next and click on install, and the drivers will then be installed. You could then verify if your phone is being shown as 9008 or not in the device manager. If it's still showing as 900E, then your next course of action is to install the drivers manually, or wait, let's do one more thing. Once you have installed these drivers, let's now proceed ahead to boot our phone to the EDL mode. So after installing the drivers, don't verify anything. Let's first boot our phone to EDL mode, and then we'll verify if the drivers have been installed or not. If the drivers have been installed, then your phone will be shown as this. If they are not installed, then your phone will be shown as QHS USB bulk. And if there's a yellow warning sign next to QD loader, then it means you haven't disabled the driver signature. You will have to do so right away. Apart from that, if you are still shown as 900E, then it means your phone is not in the EDL mode. Rather, it's in the Qualcomm crash dump mode. So we will discuss all these approaches. As of now, just install the EDL drivers and then move ahead with the next step. So now we will have to boot our phone to the EDL mode, and from the Qualcomm crash dump mode, first and foremost, you will have to unplug your phone from the PC, and as soon as you do so, it should get powered off. If that doesn't happen, so if it restarts, then wait for a few seconds and your phone will automatically power off. So let's just wait. It will try to boot up and then turn off. Once that happens, you will now have to press and hold the volume up and volume down keys, and while holding both the keys, connect the other end to your USB cable to your phone, and your phone should now boot into the EDL mode. You could verify the same from the device manager as well. So expand the port section and make sure your phone is being shown as your phone should be shown as exactly as shown here, QD loader 9008. If that does not happen, not an issue. Simply again unplug your phone, and you will have to carry out this task a couple of times until your phone is being recognized as EDL mode. So let's give it a try once again. In this method, you might have to try out around 3 to 4 times until you achieve success. So again, long press both the keys, and while holding both the keys, plug in your phone to the PC by USB cable, and now see if your phone boots to the EDL mode or not. If it does not boot to the EDL mode this time around as well, then you will have to take a second approach. In this approach, what you could do is download and extract the MSM tool from here. So as of now, let's skip this section and launch the EDL or MSM tool from here. So download the MSM tool for your phone from the above section, and once you've got the MSM tool, simply extract them onto your PC and then launch it. So this is the MSM tool directory. Launch it via the ext file. This is the ext file. So launch it, and as of now, as you could see, it's showing as no device not connected. Now click on the start button. So with this, the MSM tool is up and running and it's waiting for the device. So now we will try to boot our phone to EDL mode once again, and as soon as the phone boots to EDL mode, the MSM tool will start the flashing process, and this time around we shall achieve success. So let's try out this approach as well. So unplug your phone from the PC and give it a few seconds to power it off. Once that happens, we will try out that as well and then see if it works or not in our case. Likewise, you could also keep open the device manager and see if the port section shows something. So just a minute, let's now try it out. So as you could see, this time around, our phone is now being shown as Qualcomm HS USB QD loader under the port section, and in the MSM tool as well. The flashing has now started, and the flashing will now take place, and it could take around up to 300 to 400 seconds. So this is the main tweak that you have to carry out. If in your case you are getting an error message such as the Sahara communication failed, then that is not a cause of concern, because we have at least got the Qualcomm HS QD loader 9008, which signifies that the driver has been installed successfully. So even if you're getting a Sahara communication failed, it's not a cause of concern. Simply close the tool, and once that is done, click on yes, and you will just have to once again relaunch the tool. So open the tool from here again, and as soon as you open the tool, just hit the start button. So let's just wait for the login screen to appear, and click on next and click on the start button, and this time around the flashing should now start without any issues. So if you're getting the Sahara communication failed error message once again, then you will have to boot your phone to the try to boot your phone once again and then again boot your phone to the EDL mode. So as of now, simply unplug your phone and close the MSM tool. Then what you have to do is again launch the MSM tool once again and keep it running in the backend. So let me do that as well, and then we will replug our phone and boot to EDL mode once again. And this time around, the process should be successful. So click on the start button. Likewise, you could open the device manager over here. And now let's try to boot our phone to EDL mode once again. So press and hold the volume up and volume down keys, and while holding both the keys, connect the other end to your PC by USB cable. And let's wait this time around. So if it's showing as not recognized, then there's no need to proceed ahead. Simply unplug your phone and long press the power key for around 15 seconds. If that does not respond, then you will have to long press the power and volume up keys for around 15 seconds, and then your phone might show some sign of activity. So as of now, I'm holding the volume and power up keys for around 15 seconds. This will try to exit the EDL mode. As you could see, we are now out of the EDL mode and our phone will try to boot to the OS. It will fail, and we will then once again try to flash the unbrick firmware using the MSM tool. So once again, let's press and hold the volume up and volume down keys and connect our phone to the PC by USB cable. Let's check out the result this time around, and the flashing will now start. So let's just verify the same and check out the result. So as you could see, the flashing are now started. So you could either take two approaches. First off, you could either launch the MSM tool beforehand and click on the start button as well, and after that boot your phone to EDL mode and then connect your phone to PC via USB cable. Once you do so, then since the MSM tool is already open in the backend, it will start the flashing as soon as your phone gets in the EDL mode. Or the second approach is to simply first connect your phone to EDL mode and then launch the MSM tool and then click on the start button. In my case, I was getting the Sahara communication failed error message, so I had to try a couple of ports. As you could see, I first tried on the first port, then second port and third port, and ultimately the second port was what gave me the success. If you're also getting Sahara communication failed, then try using a different USB port and also a different USB cable. In my case, the original OnePlus cable never works when it comes to booting to EDL mode. Rather, I have to use a cable of either the Pixel or the Motorola or the Moto phone, but the original OnePlus cable never works in my case. As you might see that it's the white color cable which I'm currently using. So you could also change the USB cable and the USB port. So just to recap, there is no specific standalone instruction set that you have to follow when it comes to fixing this issue. The only 4 requirements that you have to do is, first and foremost, you will have to get hold of the MSM tool and extract them onto your PC. Then disable the driver signature enforcement. This will allow you to install the EDL drivers, and then you have to install the EDL drivers using the automatic or manual method. Once you have installed the drivers, you will then have to boot your phone to EDL mode. As of now, your phone will be in a Qualcomm crash dump mode. So you will have to long press and hold the power key to power off your phone. If that does not work, then press and hold the power and volume up key for around 10 to 15 seconds. Your phone will try to boot up and then automatically power off. Our ultimate aim is to power off the phone. You could either do so by long pressing the power key or by pressing and holding the power and volume up key, in which case the phone will try to boot up but ultimately power off. Once the phone gets powered off, it will take around 5 to 10 seconds before it once again boots into the Qualcomm crash dump mode. So you will have to take hold of those 5 to 10 seconds and get the job done. So in that limited time frame, what you have to do is you could either first and foremost launch the MSM tool and click the start button and then boot your phone to EDL mode and connect it to PC via USB cable, or first and foremost connect your phone to the PC via USB cable and in EDL mode and then hit the start button. In both these cases, make sure that your phone is being shown as Qualcomm HS USB QD loader under device manager. If it's being shown as QHS USB bulk, then the drivers have not been installed successfully, and you will have to install the driver once again. This time you could go for the manual installation of drivers. On the other hand, if you're getting the Qualcomm HS USB QD loader 9008, but with that you are getting a yellow warning sign, then it means you haven't yet turned off the driver signature enforcement, so you will have to do that as well. But if you are getting the 900E, then in that case it signifies your phone is still in the Qualcomm crash dump mode, even though it might not show in the UI in the front end, but your phone is still in the Qualcomm crash dump mode. In that case, you will again have to boot your phone. First, you will have to power off your phone by long pressing the power key or the power and volume up key. Once it gets powered off, press and hold the volume up and volume down key, and while holding both the keys, connect your phone to the PC via USB cable, and your phone will then boot into the EDL mode. There is only one way of connecting a phone to EDL mode, and that is just the pressing and holding the volume up and volume down keys, and while holding both the keys, connecting our phone to the PC via USB cable. Once that happens, your phone should then be shown as like this as shown in my PC and the screenshot, and after that the flashing should begin. If you are getting any errors such as open device failed error, Sahara communication failed error, or failed to take handshake, then in those cases you will first off try to restart your phone via the power and the volume keys combination, and apart from that unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Likewise, try using a different USB cable and a different USB port. So try out these tweaks and ultimately it should work. If none of these tweaks work, then your only course of action is to go to a different laptop and try using that. In many cases, I have seen that changing the laptop also seems to work. So anyways, with that said, once the flashing is going on, it's the super.img which takes the most of the time. Apart from that, the rest of the file will only take around 5 to 10 seconds to flash, and once the flashing is complete, your phone will automatically boot to the OS, but this time around the bootloader will be logged. So I will recommend you to unlock the bootloader, so just to be on the safer side. With that said, if your phone boots into the Qualcomm crash dump mode, then you will not be able to access the fastboot mode. Even if the bootloader is currently logged, it will be of no use to us because we cannot access the fastboot mode currently. If we were able to access the fastboot mode, then we could simply flash the fastboot ROM using the fastboot command or the fastboot enhance tool and rectify the issue. But as of now, since we cannot even access the fastboot mode or the recovery mode or the fastboot D mode, we have no choice but to make use of the MSM tool to get this job done. So as you could see, we are now getting the download complete message, and it took around 370 seconds. Once the flashing is done, your phone will automatically boot to the OS, and do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some time. This is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent time, it will not take that much longer. Moreover, all the data from your phone would have been wiped off. Likewise, your phone will boot to the Android 11 OS because this is the last or the latest OS that we have. With regards to the MSM download tool, this tool flashes the OPS firmware which comes inbuilt with the MSM tool as well. As you could see, this is the OPS firmware, and we have the Android 11 Oxygen OS 11 as the latest firmware with the MSM tool. Moreover, as I told you before, the bootloader will be logged in your case in every phone after flashing my MSM tool. So you will have to go to developer option. For that, tap on build number 7 times. It will enable developer option. Go there and enable the toggle next to USB debugging and OEM unlocking. Then you will have to use the ADB reboot bootloader command to boot your phone to fastboot mode. Then use the fastboot flashing unlock command and use the volume keys to highlight unlock the bootloader and press the power key to confirm. With this, the bootloader will be unlocked, and then you will be on the safer side. Still, if you by chance if you're once again in the Qualcomm crash dump mode, then even having an unlocked bootloader will be of no use. As you would have seen by now, in my case also, the bootloader was currently unlocked, but I wasn't able to do anything because we cannot access the fastboot mode or the fastboot D mode or the recovery mode when we are in the Qualcomm crash dump mode. We could only access the EDL mode, and that's just about it. So the Qualcomm crash dump mode is just one step above the EDL mode. The EDL mode is the emergency download mode, which is the last mode on our phone and which could be accessed when our phone gets heartbreak. Just above that is the crash dump mode. So from the crash dump mode, you could boot your phone to EDL mode, and then you could flash the firmware via MSM tool to unbreak your phone. So as you could see, our phone is now up and running. Let me simply do the setup process to show you the phone as well. Currently, I'm skipping the initial setup screen and take you to the OS. It will just take a few seconds. So the phone that I am using is the OnePlus 9 Pro, but the steps are applicable across all the OnePlus phone that have an MSM tool. So with that said, as you could see, let me show you, it's the OnePlus 9 Pro and it's on the Android 11 version. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.